Welcome to the New Earth portal.
Still here.
This is okay. So here's the thing. So we were sitting here talking because that's what we do, and
Two
A
air
lot.
signs. Two air signs.
a lot. And I realized that our conversation was just so awesome that I was like, I'm just going to hit record. So this is the New Earth portal. This is my friend Susan Brown. My name is Hope, and here's what we were discussing. And then we're going to actually move on to like a real topic. Although this is a real topic.
Mice, mouse.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it?
So here's what, So we're going to put this out to the viewers. So we were sitting here, the laptop's up, and Susan says, "What's this thing in the middle of the keyboard?" And I said, "Well, it's the form of a mouse. And you can move the arrow around, but I don't use it because I'm used to using like this finger pad thing." And she goes, "Do you think people actually use a mouse anymore, like a regular computer mouse?" And I said, "Yes, blah, blah, blah." And so then this became very important to understand. If you have one mouse, then
They're gonna be like, okay, shut them off.
yeah. If you have one mouse, as in the animal, and the plural form of that is mice, so two mice. In the English language now, has that shifted? Like if you have one computer mouse, is the plural of that computer mice? Or is it computer mouses?
Maybe we should have just Googled it. But
We could have
we
Googled
don't,
it.
We don't have internet up here.
We don't have internet up here. And it's fascinating to figure out and talk about, don't you think?
We probably could talk about it for a while.
We
But-
could talk about it, and then by the time we're done, we would have subscribed or ascribed some really deep, multi-layered spiritual meaning
Yeah,
to
at some
computer
point.
mouses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
come up
mouses.
with a couple of healing modalities for people who struggle with plural forms of nouns in their world. Because that's just what we do, I swear.
So anyway, back to
So really,
this dimension.
yes. So back to this dimension, we really wanted to actually go into talking about stress for just a couple of minutes because the energies have been so intense the past week, and it has been very stressful.
And I know, just doing little reading on stress, that 95% of the diseases we have today are from stress.
Yes.
So the thing is, we can fix our bodies, we can work with stress, and I think just talking about different ways that you can handle stress.
Right.
Like when I first started, there were a lot of things that I just took out of my life. I took out of my life TV. My daughter was 13 at that time. She thought I lost my mind.
There's a wasp around my head. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And
So if I just jerk or
like
whatever.
the newspaper and news, and I mean, I'm informed, but
Right.
that daily information is just. So take my mother. My mother lives down in Florida. Every day she gets up, she goes to the door, gets the newspaper, and then in the newspaper it tells everything that's bad going on. And then she goes and she sits in front of the TV and then watches the news. Sorry, Mom. But anyway, it's the whole idea of your actions and your day and trying to start shifting that.
Right.
you
And
know?
noticing what your daily input is. What
Yes.
input of energy are you allowing in?
Or even you could get into, I mean, we could go as far as, just to take a look at what you do daily, the friends that you hang around with, your coworkers, and deciding really, my big aha moment is deciding whose energy that I want
Right.
to be around me.
Right.
And that's really important thing. And we're
really-
getting into something totally different.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that you don't love humanity and
Right.
that you don't walk around heart-centered and we're in healing work. So obviously we love people. It just means who resonates, who's a good match, who lifts your spirits, who, when you're with them, are you kind of, God, I don't even want to use the word the same frequency, but like, do you feel like those relationships and interactions are for the highest good in some form or fashion? And it's not being judgmental. It's just, what is it that works for you? Because it's going to be different for different people.
And just being aware daily, like getting up in the morning and saying, okay, I'm going to take a look at my world. and see where the stressors come in. And
Right.
some, you can't do anything about.
Right.
And then some you can kind of work on and saying, okay, well, maybe I need to shift that energy in some way, or maybe not talk to that person as much, or maybe, not watch the news before I go to bed.
Right.
Or, I mean, because we all want to be informed, but sometimes that information overload. There's also, like on how these energies and Facebook and the internet and
Right.
the phones.
That's a
and
whole
that's
other
a-
layer
But
of what's coming in your field and like in your Facebook news feed. Or what websites you're going to. Social media can be a bear. That's definitely, for me, I have to set some boundaries around the usage of it, and I use it a lot. But how do I use it? What am I bringing in? What groups
Who are you
Who am I following? What are the groups that I've liked? What are the groups that I've liked? And what are they popping into my news feed? Really, what is coming in energetically, and is that feeding my soul?
Right,
Does
like-
it feed your soul?
basically, yes. Does it feed your soul?
Does it feed your soul?
Kind of just like what I did was that one day I just stopped and just took a look at everything.
Right.
And
And it can be
I've been
job
working on
related.
it for
could be-
like 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
But it's not like you ever it's just all perfect and enlightened.
Right.
It's kind of like a process that you just keep on going through, and you work
a
on
constant
different things,
process.
and things come up, and then something else comes up, and you work on that. But the reason I was talking about my mother was that I told her about this breathing exercise probably about, well, this happened a half a year ago, but 2 years ago, I told her about just a simple exercise, just taking your breath and breathing in 3 and then letting out 3 and doing that 4 times. And we were in Whole Foods, and my mother goes to me, "What was that exercise for stress?"
Aww.
And she sat up on the chair, and I explained the exercise, and she goes, "Wow, that worked." Well, it took her a year and a half to do that.
It did, but when she was ready and it made sense,
Yes.
it came in and it clicked.
But just that, just breathing kind of shifts, and
As
to
I
look,
do it right now, yes,
yeah,
it
just
does.
to look into breathing and just how it just changes your whole
It
thought
does.
process
Oh my
and
gosh,
your
does it
energy.
ever.
And
We went walking yesterday.
yes,
That's another way to utilize breathing. Is
or
we were-
for stress.
Yeah, and for stress, because the breath changes and you get the endorphins and everything going, and so we very intentionally went for a long walk yesterday to move that energy
laughter
out.
yoga, or even if you don't, like there's
Right.
YouTubes on laughter yoga,
Right.
Or even if you, just start like, it's hard when you start, but just like go ha, ha, ha,
Mm-hmm.
and then just keep on going ha, ha, and then you just end up laughing. That shifts your energy.
Mm-hmm. It does.
So it's just finding your own tools.
It is.
And we'll be giving some different tools. Working with because I'm very big into working with the nature spirits and the trees and
Yes,
everything like
nature
that,
and grounding are huge.
and also looking into like the healing energies of brown and green, and I mean there's so many different avenues you can go, but we're
Right.
going to start doing some stress exercises to release stress in the forest.
Yes.
And things that you can do at home, and you don't need any tools at all,
right.
because spirit works with you no matter
It
what.
does.
You don't
It
have to
really
face in a certain
does.
direction. If you do
Oh
it,
my
if you
gosh.
do it wrong, they're not going to go, "Oh,
You
excuse
can't
me."
do it wrong.
Right.
That's the thing.
And
You
that's a
ca- it's-
really important piece.
You can't
do it wrong.
wrong.
There's no, if you're not facing. This is my views.
I just happen to agree.
I mean, as far as like facing east and everything else like that,
Right.
and they're not going to say, "You know what, you called in the wrong direction."
Right. If
You
that,
know?
but if that speaks to you, you face east.
Right.
But
That's
it's-
right.
But if I face west and hug a tree, then that's what works. It's really what works.
And I think we'll get
Like
into
you can't do
like,
meditation wrong.
No.
Like you hear meditation all the time, and a lot of people have blocks with that, but you can't do it wrong.
No,
Like,
because most people think.
they
How ma-
right.
I mean, like, how
We
many
did
people?
it yesterday. We all got together and meditated for stress relief. And there's
Yes.
4 of us in the room, and 2 of them got the giggles, and Susan was kind of in between, and I'm sitting over there going, I'm just sad. But you go ahead and laugh.
I might laugh later.
Right. Just excuse me, I'm sad. But you honor that. Like,
right.
that's just where I was, and I knew why I was sad. And we got giggles over here, but you could feel the energy shift with the laughter. So by the time we got into the deep meditation, I still wasn't giggling, but it does shift energy. It lightens things
And
up. It
that
moves
also
things
goes
along,
into the
things along.
point, if people are feeling stressed, to try to find the other vibrations of people, even if you're kind of like in that spot, like you were in that spot yesterday, and then we all got together, and then the girls were giggling, and then after a while you did a little ha ha.
I
you know.
did. I did.
But it's kind of like, bringing that energy to you.
Right.
And it will shift the
It will.
energies. It's
It
being
will.
around like positive people.
Yes.
If you're around like negative people all day, yes, it's very hard
You're
not
going to
to be
absorb that
stressed.
stuff, right?
Even if you don't even know you're absorbing it.
right.
So I guess what we're just trying to talk about is just being aware of your surroundings.
Right.
And if
Being
there,
aware
there
what's
are
coming
some,
into your field.
right, if there are some ways that you can change that, try to shift that, because even a little bit of changing your energies does shift things. Because
It
you
does.
shifted yesterday, I
Right.
shifted. I was just like, I felt like, well, not to say like on tranquilizers, but
Uh-huh.
I don't do that. But if I did,
Right, right.
I just felt so peaceful. It was
Before the
amazing.
meditation or afterwards?
No, after the meditation.
Oh my
I
gosh, it made
just,
such a difference. Oh my God, I cannot tell you what a
Yeah,
difference
and
it
it
made.
wasn't like okay, get up in the morning, do meditation. It was
Right.
just like spur of the moment.
We
Okay.
just felt it. Let's all go up to the top of this lodge at Mountain Light Sanctuary. Let's just turn on some music. Let's just call in peace and balance. Let's see where it takes us. And then we all telepathically got to put our feet together, and you could feel the energy flowing. My daughter was like, whoa, the electrical currents. And we were like, yeah. And then it just took it. We all went where we needed to go. It was magical.
So if people could just just find little things.
Right. Don't judge
But-
your emotional processes. There's so much going on right now, and there's so many things coming at us from different angles. If you feel sad, that's okay. If you feel happy 5 minutes later, that's okay. If you're having anger, don't ever judge where you are on the emotional spectrum.
I was just thinking,
Just-
judging, because once
bring
you start
awareness-
judging,
yeah.
oh my God, you get in like this spiral
You
that
do.
just there's
and
like
then you
almost
feel like
no
you
way
need to
get
get out of it. And you don't necessarily need to get out of it. You need to ask what it's bringing to you and honor that, and then you'll move your way through it and you'll figure it out. And stress management can help with that. It's about being mindful, accepting your processes as they come up, and then knowing who you are as a soul and what resonates with you and how to take care of yourself and how to just be aware of what's coming into your field. And you're right. It's a constant process. know.
Not to say, but in my website, earthy-woman.com.
You can say it as much as you want. She
No.
is awesome.
So the thing is, I have 5 rituals on that are free that you can just sign up and get, and it talks about stress, and it's all about working with Mother Nature, and it's the 5 simple rituals. But check it out, because those things you can do in your everyday life that can help you.
Right. And my activity yesterday in meditation was what helped me with balancing back was actually starseed connections. So that's why we call ourselves Earth and Sky. And we both flow between both worlds,
Right.
but that's where she kind of is. And then over here, it's my balancing came from hanging out with the Syrians. So there are ways.
So we
there are many
balance
ways
each
to
other.
do it. And we
Otherwise
would
we'd
love to
both
be of
be like-
service. Yeah.
Okay, grounding.
We are scales. We are balancing
Because
act.
want to ground. Okay.
All right, let's do it. All right, so let us know if we can be of service. There are a lot of stressors right now, and there are ways to manage those, and we would love to help with that and give you tools and information.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you.
all right, have a beautiful day.
Breathe.
Breathe, breathe, and go put your bare feet on the ground and stand
Yes.
out in the sun if it's sunny where you are. And you know what? If it's not, go stand outside anyway. And just be in the air, in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and check out, sorry, one more thing.
And one more thing.
Forest bathing. Just
Yes.
Just-
Oh, there was a butterfly. Forest bathing.
yes, it's from like the 1800s.
Oh my gosh.
Just look it up. We'll talk about it another
Mm-hmm,
time, but just shows working in the forest and with the trees and the plants, and even if you don't have that much time, it
Mm-hmm.
shows scientifically how it shifts your energy. And we'll get into that
Yes.
at another time.
And we love the forest.
Yes.
That's why we want to come to you from the forest.
That's why I live here.
That's why she lives here.
Thank you.
Okay.